Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your spiritual revolution reading for the month of Cancer. Okay, so the month of Cancer runs from June 21st to July 21st. And in this month, we have some pretty major transits. On June 29th, this is a huge day. It is the full moon in Capricorn. It is the first day of Mercury retrograde, which is going until July 23rd. And it is also when Jupiter is stationing into Leo and leaving the sign of Cancer. And so in this reading, we are going to connect to what is your overarching energy for the month of Cancer. And we'll also, get some more messages, because the spiritual revolution reading is for those who are being called to participate in the spiritual revolution. There is a spiritual war going on right now, and we are going to get some guidance from your guides to see how you can be supported, what you need to focus on for this month. And I also want to mention that there is a new moon in Cancer on July 14th. So watch for that date as well. So the first card that comes up for your overarching energy is, I'm connecting to a chakra for you, and it's your root chakra. And this one, Taurus, is possessions, belongings, finances, assets, treasures. So these themes may have been really prevalent for you, in particular over the past couple months, and is going to be a focus during the month of Cancer. And I want to say, during this retrograde, Mercury retrograde is really about reviewing your life. So I know there's a lot of misinformation or misconception around Mercury retrograde that it's going to be terrible, but what it's really about is to slow down, review your life, and see, where do changes need to be made and what can we do going forward differently. And one of the themes that you're being asked to really think about is possessions. And this is root chakra, and root is always about stability, security, and feeling safe in our life. And so you might be looking at your finances, and perhaps there are things that you want to sell. Perhaps you're looking at selling your home and downsizing, or the opposite, you're looking to move into a bigger place, or, there are investments that you're looking to cash in on and things like that. And what I would say to you, Taurus, is during a retrograde, you don't want to make any big decisions. I would refrain from signing contracts and things like that, unless you had already seen the documentation and things had already been prepared in advance. Otherwise, I would say, kind of wait it out until after the 23rd of July, if you can, before making any decisions around your finances, around your assets, because sometimes things can slip through the cracks. Things can show up in small print that you maybe missed. There are opportunities during a retrograde for miscommunications, misunderstandings, and I would hate for something like that to happen to you, especially since this is coming up. This feels like a really important message for you. So really, really think about that as well. If you're thinking of cashing in any investments, you potentially might want to wait until after the retrograde. This isn't a financial reading. I do not give financial advice. Do not hold me accountable for anything. Ultimately, the decision is yours. That's my disclaimer. However, this is coming up for a reason, and I just like to caution that. The other overarching energies that you have for this month of Cancer are ostination. So this is Saturn in Taurus. And this is, again, about, really living large and material goods and possessions, and having all the things. And so that's interesting that came up. And then this card is revenge. So Mars in Scorpio, revenge. And it feels like that, in this month of Cancer, because it's very emotional and it's sensitive, and with the retrograde and all of these shifts that are happening, there could be a lot of emotions that have been sitting under the surface and tied to, it feels like, this feeling of security. And because this is a spiritual revolution reading, what's coming through is this isn't revenge necessarily against someone in your life, but perhaps against the government or the dark forces, the controllers of the realm who have been, really guiding humanity towards devastation and financial loss. I mean, with these wars that have been going on and the fuel shortages and tariffs and raising gas prices and grocery prices and all of these things, that you could be really feeling like, taking a sort of revenge on these decision makers and these policy makers and things like that, and whatever that might look like. And I would say, the best revenge is served. I don't know. How does it go? For some reason, like, I'm getting a bunch of sayings mixed up in my head right now. The best revenge is living your best life. That's really what I want to say. The best revenge is, it's not like necessarily taking revenge on someone, because there's karmic retribution that is going to come with that. But the best revenge is living your best life, and this ostentationness, like this feeling of opulence, and knowing that you already have it all, right? The secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. And anything that the dark forces, that the controllers of the realm are trying to put on you, is just an indication of how far down they have fallen, and the lengths that they are going to in order to make us feel like we've lost. But the fact is, we've already won. We just need to go through the motions now. And so by exacting revenge, it feels like, there could be this impulse around your possessions, around your belongings, around your assets and your finances, that you are like, thinking of making some sort of move that won't necessarily be the best in the long term, if that makes sense. And this feels like kind of specific energy that's coming through. So please take what resonates and drop the rest. And this is a general reading. We're going to go a bit deeper to see if I can get some more guidance from you, which of course we can, and really see what's coming through in terms of what you need to focus on for this month of Cancer. And I only read uprights during these readings. And okay, so let's take a look. So your background energy, or kind of what you've been carrying into this month, is the Emperor. And the Emperor is very strategic. The Emperor is this very, logical tactician. He is making decisions from a strategic point of view. He's like, this is the chess master who sees all the pieces and the moving parts and knows what needs to be done. And so you have been planning things. You have been thinking about your future for those around you, like thinking about your overarching energy. It's really about, you've been setting up your table, you've been setting up your chessboard, like you are getting prepared for whatever might be thrown at you. And that is great. Like, that's a really good energy, especially during these times. However, there is a tendency when you're doing that to become almost like cynical, to become like paranoid, and in this like control freak kind of mode where it breeds almost like an anxiety and a paranoia, where it's like, okay, what is happening around me, and how does this fit into my plan, and how do I make a contingency for that, and what if this happens? And there's a lot of spinning wheels and spinning gears that can start to grind and like smoke and break down. And it feels like that maybe that this is where you have been pulled into this into these what if scenarios and constantly looking for different strategies and ways to be okay, to feel safe and secure for yourself and your family. And ultimately, like, you've been putting in the work, like, you know what you need to build your castle, so to speak, your empire. And your current energy, what you are being asked to embrace during this month of Cancer, is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is, like, as you can see, he's gonna go slay the dragon. So yes, like, you are the guy. And this isn't a gender specific reading, male or female. You are very powerful and in control. Like, you have really embodied this emperor energy, and now you know it's time for action. And the kind of action that you are meant to take is around really protecting the realm. And I say this in, like, I want to be kind of cautious around the way that I'm saying this, because there's been a lot of darkness that has come to light in this year, and we are seeing kind of the worst of humanity, of the collective. And you are in this point where it's almost like very protective. You want to keep the people around you safe, yourself as well, and king of the castle kind of thing. Like, I'm seeing that you have built this stable foundation for yourself and your family and your community. Now you're ready to fight for it. And this month of Cancer is very emotional, and there are going to be, like, what's happening on the world stage is not going to slow down, and you have this need, this drive inside you to say, okay, you know what, enough's enough, and I'm taking on the dragon myself. And I want you to know that it's not a one-man show, that there are people around you that you can also rely on, who have your back, who are helping to build within the community, and that you don't have to go slay the dragon by yourself. Like, you have this energy where you want to, and that's great. But think of ways that you can do it without sacrificing this foundation that you've built. The Knight of Wands energy can be incredibly impulsive. And while that is great, like, we need that energy, we need these people that are willing to go to the front of the lines and to lead the charge. So important, especially right now. But there is a caution to make sure that you're not jeopardizing the position that you've built for yourself and the security that you've built for those around you, if that makes sense. And again, I feel like this is very specific, and I'm not sure this energy that I'm tapping into, but it is very interesting. And I don't know exactly what that looks like. I'm trying to think of examples, and, like, here's something. So if there's, a legislation that is being passed in your area, in your municipality, or wherever you are, that you're against, perhaps you are, leading a petition against it, or starting a rally, or doing something like that. Or maybe there is something that is being introduced at a school that your children are going to that you don't agree with, because of whatever. Perhaps it is, not in line with your values, with family values, with the good of humanity. Perhaps there's, like, some sort of agenda behind it that you witness, and you're like, no, I'm going to go to the parent-teacher meeting, I'm going to go to the school board, and I'm going to speak my mind about this, because I don't think it's helpful. Great. I want to say, that there are actions that you can take, and those are just two examples off the top of my head, thinking about what's going on with the spiritual war. But again, I want to caution you to lean on the people around you and to know that, you don't have to do it yourself. And actually building this coalition of supporters keeps you in a more secure position so that you're not taking everything all on yourself. But absolutely, if you feel called to lead a charge, then I would say go for it. This is the energy that you are being called to for this month. And finally, your outcome energy is Ace of Wands. And this tells me that whatever cause, whatever charge that you are leading is this is the beginning of a journey for you. And this is going to take you on a path that maybe you didn't expect, but it's going to happen fast, and it's going to be very exciting and very powerful and very impactful. And I'm going to say good luck, and I'm rooting for you. And if this resonates and you know what I'm talking about, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear more about it. And yeah, I don't know, I'm excited. Again, this feels very specific, but maybe it isn't. Maybe this resonates. Okay, I'm going to get a message from the moon because we have that full moon on the 29th and the new moon in Cancer on July 14th. Oh, interesting. I don't see this card very often. So this is the Void of Course moon, and it says, nothing will come of this situation. Nothing will come of this situation. So there is a lot of fire and a lot of energy and a lot of action in this reading. And I don't want to say that it's for naught. Let me tap into this energy. So nothing will come of this situation. So the Void of Course moon. So the Void of Course is when the moon is transiting between two different signs, and you're not really supposed to, I don't know, astrologers say like you're not supposed to do anything during this. It's like a time of pause almost in the moon cycle. And when I'm thinking about the energy that has come up during this reading and nothing will come of this situation, I don't want to say that the efforts that you're putting in are for nothing. But what it feels like is like, okay, when we're dealing with the government, when we're dealing with the dark forces and the controllers of the realm, the powers that be, there is, they have their plans already kind of mapped out, and they know, their next 5 steps down the road. And here it is. The charge that you are leading, the change that you're trying to make won't happen. So if you are trying to change a legislation and you're starting a petition, if you're trying to get something taken out of the school curriculum because it's not healthy or, in line with your values, it's not going to get taken out. But that's okay. That doesn't mean that your efforts are for nothing, because what is important here is that you are keeping yourself secure and that you are working with the people around you. You are leading by example. You are being an example. You are demonstrating what it looks like to take charge and to be passionate about a cause and to want to make a change, okay? You are going to learn some very important things about what this looks like and the kind of effort that it takes. However, what you're going to do is you are going to ignite people around you and to really lead within the community and show the community that, hey, there are people who care about things. And I would say the majority of people, like the majority of humanity, are kind of, waiting for someone to lead. They're they tend to be followers. Like, they're not going to make big changes. They're not going to make ripples in the water, and they just kind of go with the flow and listen to the government and all of these kinds of things. But you, Taurus, you are really being called to lead, and that's what's important. So nothing will come of the situation. You're not going to make the change. Sorry. However, what's going to happen is you're going to build your foundation even more. Like, this is just additional bricks in the foundation of your community and your family and your stability, and showing people that the best revenge is a life best lived. Something like, I don't know exactly how it goes, but you know what I'm trying to say, is the best revenge is really leading by example and living the life that you want to live. And that's the main lesson here, is showing that you're a leader and helping other people stand up for what they believe in. And your final card here is Sage, which is blessing. And I love this. Sage is such a sacred plant for me. It helps to clear negative energy. It helps to, it's actually been proven that burning sage can help reduce cold symptoms and things like that, like detoxing symptoms, because it is antibacterial, and it really does actually improve air quality. And this is what you are going to be this month to your community and to the people around you, is a blessing. Like that breath of fresh air. You're going to come in and you're going to really clear the air for a lot of people. And by being so brave and showing that, you already have everything that you need. And this is just really beautiful. Like, it's sacred. This mission that you are on and what you are being called to do is sacred. And like, what's just coming through too is this could be in relationships, this could be in your work. It doesn't necessarily have to be something as radical as trying to change the government or something like that. Like, I'm seeing this in a much broader picture now. And that energy was just so intense. It was like a little bit overwhelming. But now I'm really seeing that this is a calling. This is a way that this is how you nurture. Like, Taurus, you have such a strong energy. You are the bull. You are fierce. You are fixed earth. You are the mountain, the immovable mountain. And showing up in that essence is exactly what the people around you need this month. So I'm wishing you the best, and I'm very excited to hear what happens. So if this resonates, please let me know. Drop a note in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know those as well. And this was a general reading, believe it or not. It was not a personal one-to-one reading. But if you do want to go deeper about what your energy is for the month of Cancer, hit me up. I do personal readings as well. And thank you so much for being here with me this month, and I will see you in the next one.